This is the Hip Hop Report. Thank you for tuning in. We are going to talk about the Baby Keem album today. An artist that, to be quite frank, for as many ties as I have with TDE and Kendrick, you would have thought that I would have been up on it. But anyway, so let's get to it. I'm just going to pull up the album. And, you know, honestly, for me, a lot of reviews, especially the ones I've done in the past, it's like it would be so much better if I could actually play the music, right? But then you have the demonetization thing. So, I mean, I think with the concept of just kind of going through the album, I think you can accomplish a lot versus actually full first listen. Because, you know, it's been out for a week, so, or not a week, but whatever. So obviously I'm not going to listen to it for the first time. And honestly, I don't even really like, unless you're doing reaction videos, I don't know if this is my first time listening to this. This is what I think of it. Really hits as much as actually being able to consume it. And, you know, as much as people say that other people's opinion doesn't matter, I think it does. I think a lot of times we evolve our opinions and our feedback based on the feedback and the concept of what other people are saying and doing and things like that. So, you know, for me, it's more like you have the ability to consume everything and still make up your own mind. Come on, the other one. All I want is you. Oh no, there it is. Now, off the rip, man, I want to discuss the voice. I wasn't even aware really of Baby Keem as he came out, as I should have been. But it was more of a retroactive acknowledgement of his talent based off not just who he was working with, but seeing a lot of those live shows, a lot of those live performances. I was like, who? And I knew about Baby Keem early, but I just didn't know the full story. And just to begin with this, today I made it to watch, after I listened to the album for a while, to watch the 3 Boo Man documentary pieces. And I think those are not just important and super lucrative to the artist brand and to the concept of who they are and who their fans acknowledge them to be. But man, the staying power of like knowing that much personal information about an artist, it's what's made J. Cole. It's what's made 50 Cent. It's what's made Jay-Z. It's what separates the one-hit wonders to the legacy artists that actually have a long-running stand and the ability to create full careers just solely more so off their story than their music. Just is what it is. I mean, that I would even argue that that's where the game is now. It's even though people are less about your celebrity, they're also less about the music and more about like who you are. And if you can sell them on your story and the direction of your experience of life and it connects with them in some capacity, the music becomes just an extension of what they already have bought into, which is you. That once they buy into you, then you can throw anything at the wall and they'll probably catch it. But yeah, this first record, No Security, I think it has like a real early Kanye, like kind of sample vibe. I know he's also a producer, and I do want to get to the conversation of whether Baby Keem is a better rapper producer than J. Cole later. Casino, to me, this is one of those. Actually, I just got back from Vegas, and the album dropped literally the week I got back, and it made it resonate that much more with the concept and his influences from Vegas and such, you know. But this, I mean, I can't even really let that drop. But even without the drop, that is nasty. Like that, you know, forget that he's using the money sign on the name of the song. This, my goodness. And he composed it. I mean, there's a bunch of other names on there, and the song is at 420 for you smokers. I don't know who the fuck could smoke to that song, because The only thing I'm doing to that song is either running from a drive-by or involved in a drive-by. And I mean, I don't have any plans of being involved in either one of those. Let's just get to Birds and the Bees, which, you know, the video dropped today. I thought that was a cool video. I like the dimensions that it came out in. Again, you know, I think we have to have the discussion about Baby Keem's voice. That's what I was getting at earlier, and I apologize. I'm like the tangent king. So sometimes I'll go into making a point, and I'll remember it later, but y'all won't get it at that moment. My bad. So Birds and the Bees also displays the same voice, and it's the same voice that Kendrick haters always talk about, or even honestly, I look. I don't think that's a hot take. I think Kendrick has evolved his voices and has experimented with voices, and does it all the time, and he experiments with it, but he's also very confident with it. So it doesn't really, to me, it's not a huge issue. It's more of like, if I don't like a certain voice immediately, I still go to the next layer of artistry, which is, what is he saying? And it's not until the third layer of artistry, which is the beat, that I actually start trying to figure out if I like the song. But I don't get too wrapped up in the voice. Obviously, if it's like a terrible voice, like for example, like Meek Mill. When Meek Mill first came out, I knew one thing, and that was that he would never have a what do they call it? Yeah. Oh, classic album. Shit. But I knew he wouldn't have a classic album, even though like his albums may be good in quality. I don't think he has a classic album by any means. No, I don't care. Look, a classic album requires the entire album to be incredible. So Dreams and Nightmares doesn't count just because the intro is like one of the most legendary intros of all time. You know, the Dynasty also included. So we can talk about that. Dynasty or Dreams and Nightmares intro? All right, let's get to it. But again, you know, like I like the experimental direction of this album. I have to go back and listen to Baby Keem's first album, to be honest with you. I'm never going to lie to you guys on this fucking channel, but I will tell you, like, you know, I get it. And I like the experimental because that's how you don't get boxed in. All right, Good Flirts, Kendrick Lamar. Another example of Kendrick being able to like merge into a sound that that, you know, coming from some of the other records that you would hear from him, you would be like, oh, like that's not the same. Like if you only heard Cartoons and Cereal or Not Like Us, and then you heard this beat, you wouldn't go, oh, you know who I could hear on that? Kendrick. And that's the beauty of it. It's to get the idea that he can jump on something that you would never think he would jump on and actually make it an amazing record. I've always said this, and I think this is the biggest key for Kendrick Lamar's legacy, and that is that most artists struggle with, am I lyrical or am I commercial? Kendrick is able to be commercial or lyrical and make it commercial, which makes him not have to sacrifice his artistry, you know? And I feel like, not to dive into the beef, but Drake started as a hip hop artist. He merged into a commercial artist because he assumed, and maybe it's a fact, that he could not be successful as a Common, as a Pusha T is more successful now than ever, but even he's not really on that. But like the conscious rapper has never been the commercially successful rapper since like 92. So I do commend Kendrick on that. I think this is an amazing record. And not only that, but at this point, we have a 4 for 4 on these records, and this album is a monster already. You know, we don't have that many records anyways. The album is 11 songs. Shout out to Kanye for the 10-song albums or 7-song albums. But we're on track 4, and it's all flame, to be honest. Next. This, my goodness. This is like this. I said from the gate, Casino and House Money slaps, bangers. whatever name you want to call it, that's what it is. I can't even play that much either. I'm not a lyricist. I think it's a dope record. It reminds me of the Kendrick record. I'll tell you right now what it is. Let's see. Good Kid, Mad City. The one that sounds like I think it's Peer Pressure. The Art of Peer Pressure. Yes, this record to me sounds like Kendrick's The Art of Peer Pressure. Primarily because it just has that Outcast kind of like drum loop where it's a loop and it's consistent, but it runs well. And so as long as you have some melody, which I think the pianos on I Am Not a Lyricist do that perfectly, you can have like a 4 or 5 element, instrumental and it still feel full. Sex Appeal, I'll be honest, Sex Appeal, I didn't love it at first. Why didn't I like that? Let's see. Doesn't sound like something I wouldn't like. Nah, he's killing that shit. I'm sorry. I apologize to myself. But okay, so Sex Appeal is a banger, and I there's a specific part that made me open my mind to that record. I think maybe that night I don't know, maybe I was like too tired to like go hyphy, but I mean that shit is flame, and I'm hearing it on the speakers out there. If this was on the Yangers, man, I don't even know what to tell you. So yeah, shout out to Too Short, man. 50 something, still slapping. This one is dope. I really like it. I do kind of feel like it's in a weird place on the album. Like I love the record, but let's see. Yeah, like for me, Circus, I know he don't want to put a freestyle as an intro type thing, but like Circus freestyle is nuts. Like I would assume, if I had to guess, that maybe Circus at some point was considered for an intro, because this can go intro crazy, but this seems No Security seems more personal. It seems more authentic. It seems more I'm opening up, versus which matches the rollout of the documentary type stuff, and I think that's a critical point of it too. But yeah, Circus is crazy. But again, even with this track listing, I would probably go Circus after Sex Appeal, or Sex Appeal, because to me, I Am Not a Lyricist and Highway 95, those kind of like intercept sonically, and I'm more of a fan of having like a run of certain records that sound the same and have the same vibe to them, versus one like this, one like this, one like this, and one like this, just to separate them. I would have probably put, I don't know, I'm a weird guy when it comes to like tracking and actually putting records in order. So I would have probably done Highway like, I don't know, earlier, maybe like, especially because, all right, so hear me out. So, tangent. That's a good track listing. I'm gonna put the playlist on the description below, and you guys let me know what you think. Just ride through it one time. It's not that long. 37 minutes. It's all the songs on the album. Just reimagined. No Security, Highway 95, Casino, Circus, House Money, I'm Not a Lyricist, No Blame, Birds and the Bees, Good Flirt, Sex Appeal, and Dramatic Girl. Let me know what you guys think. The Hip Hop Report with Rambo Hustle. Make sure you follow us on TikTok. We're almost, I think, 30. I don't even know because I don't be on TikTok. But guess what, bitch? I still got 32.5 followers on the Hip Hop Report. Follow us. We talk hip hop, we talk business, we talk new music, we talk trending topics, we talk whatever you guys want to talk about. Eventually, we could do some lives at some point. I don't know, man. Shit. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Come on now.
Going down, it's your boy Juicy J. My hustle is our hustle, man. That's what you're watching right now. It's going down.
Poppins, Kendrick Lamar, my dude Rambo. All hustle. Yeah.
All hustle is all hustle. Absol.